All right.
Okay, cool. So we started with the step of actually creating the database. So creating the database is as simple. So right now we are actually using it. So when we're creating a database, we just say create data
Mhm.
base, and then you give it a name, copy this, you give it a name, and you select it and then say execute. Or you can say
Okay.
F5, press F5 from the keyboard, it's going to execute. That's the
Okay.
first step of creating. Okay, let me do this. So this is creating a DB, cut, paste. Then here you you are selecting the DB to use. So, but if you've got one database, there's no need. But this is important. So, because you'll get to a point where there is a lot of databases and the system doesn't know which one to use. Um, then the second step is inside a database, you create a table. So a database is just like a holistic housing. It's more like a house with no furniture. And then you start to create furniture inside when you put table. But it is as easy to create a table. You just tell the system create table and then you give it a name. Um, so of
Okay.
course this is gonna put like this red marker because the table is there. Um, so we're not gonna recreate it. Then what's important
Okay.
as well is the columns that are there with their data types. So let's do this. Cd column, column, uh, column. Yeah. Then here it's a data type. Data type, but it should be dot dot. So the reason I'm making them like this now is because when you do um, if I say this dash dash next to these, it's gonna grade this one out. All of them are gonna be green. Yeah. So this is a
And
comment.
when
This is
it's
like,
like that, when it's green.
and when it's like this in SQL Server, it means it's not gonna run. So it will only end on the stuff
Oh,
that have color and stuff, but all the stuff that has green colors in SQL are called comments. So you do this so that you can remember, okay, I was doing this with this script such that if, let's say, a person is coming on what you created, they know, okay, the comment there, this statement was to do this.
mm,
Like, for example, here
okay.
we are saying the star is for all. So you can actually remember back, oh, star is for all. Here is to insert data and stuff like that. Yeah.
I see.
But when we take this one out, it means it it it, it goes back and then it's gonna execute. So the easiest way as well to a SQL server, um, you highlight and then you press F5 or execute, because what it does, if you would press execute, it's gonna start from the top, not necessarily on the specific area that you want to go to. But you can still comment it out, all of it. Sorry, if you don't want it to run the top area, for example, you are you still there?
Yeah, I'm
Okay,
listening.
cool.
Yes.
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 You select it, and then on again on this bar, there is what you comment out selected stuff. So it's gonna have a green color and the other one has a black color. So you comment out and then here you comment in. Okay, perfect. So this is in a recording. You definitely, when you actually, because your next project now, I'm gonna give you a project, and then we'll see each other maybe in a week or so. Um, so I'm gonna give you a project. Um, so all of this that we are doing, I'm glad we are taking sort of like a video here, so you can have a reference.
Okay. Okay.
Okay, cool. But what you must always know that when you're creating a table is that inside a table, after you've given it a name, so you say create table and you give it a name, just like we did on the database, create database and give it a name. But from table, you have to specify what's going to be inside, because if you say create table, it is just not going to run, or it's
Mm-hmm.
going to give you
Yeah.
errors at the back. Yeah. Then um, inserting data, the keywords insert into, and the other keyword is values. So insert into, you start to specify first. Let me do it this. So you say insert into and then specify the table where you're going to insert the data into.
Okay. Okay.
Then the next step, you open the bracket and then let me say comma, open bracket. Then after opening your bracket, you specify the columns you want to insert. You insert into. So these
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
columns, when you have insert into, they should be existing. That's why we have created them on top there. So you need to have created them. But if you have not, it's going to give you an error.
I see. Okay.
Yes. Then the second portion of that would be now values. So values is what's going to be inside the columns. So let me say specify values inside. So they're called values, whether it's going to be name or address or stuff, but in SQL they're called values because they are inside um, the table.
Okay. All right.
Okay, cool. So, so this is how our statement gonna look like. Copy, paste. So let me take out this insert into. So right now I'm just doing it like in one row. Okay, so that you don't get confused. Yeah, let me make a space. Yeah. So this is how it looks in like one row. So this is the easiest way to insert data, but it is the longest way to insert data because, I mean, if you wanna insert 100 records, it's so crazy. You would be inserting them this way.
Mm.
Let me
Yeah.
show you how on the database are they gonna look like. Okay, let's change the names and say Bob, Bob Johnson, and then Tabile Ramkopa. something like that, and then maybe change some numbers here. So, and then change some numbers here. 14. Okay, cool. So here we can execute these at the same time. So because the table exists, um, we can highlight all of them and execute. Now let's look down there. It says one row affected. Um, then there's one error, arithmetic overflow. I'm not sure here, maybe the numbers
Go.
were 11.
I think I noticed something. Go on the down. I thought it highlighted a value under those three. But
Under
I
the
might be wrong. I
green
thought so.
stuff. Okay, let me try to execute it again. Yes, 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 yes. So there we go. So one row affected, one row affected. Now let's go and select the time logs. So this is how what the data. I mean, we of course just repeated what we did. Um, so okay, cool. So that's what is in the database. Tabile, Bob T and stuff, Bob Johnson. But it means there was stuff that were in the data in the table already. Yeah.
I see. Hmm.
Yes. Now that's how you add these the stuff on the table. Then the second portion of that, do you have maybe a question on the inserting of the data?
Um. No.
Not yet.
No. I think I do it practical now. I see. No. So far, no. It's all right.
Definitely. So then we are done inserting the data. Um, but now I want us then to be more practical, right? So let's see. I want us to be more practical with inserting large amounts of data because this is not feasible. I think we can do it on a smaller scale when you're gonna insert 5 records or 10 records. Um, but now when we're gonna insert on a larger scale, I want us to look on this tab. Okay, this one we did talk about it. I want us to look on this tab. So
Hmm.
so this tab is more is the database that we were actually tables that we were working with right on the
Okay.
online
Yeah.
SQL. Yeah. So right now
Oh,
what we
okay. I see.
could, yes. So right now we just I wanted us to recreate them um, and put them on our database so that at least our last session for today is going to be doing the joins. So where you join tables together, right?
Okay.
Now let's comment this one out because you see they are green. Let's comment them out.
Oh, that's what I wanted to ask you. When you send let's comment them out, what do you mean?
So comment out is more like making them green, sorry. So commenting out is making them green. Commenting
Okay.
in, you are like putting them back or uncomment. So they have written the
Okay.
uncomment the selected lines, comment out the selected lines. So we're
Okay.
commenting them in now.
Okay.
So we are creating this for the first time. I don't know what we're gonna get, but all the rules were followed. Create table called customer, and then I just copied the what was there. But right from now, we know that there is columns and then data type. So in this data type, you see what we did wrong
Um,
because there's a difference between this one and this one.
oh, okay, I see. So meaning that one won't run because it's within those square brackets.
Yes, definitely. So this one won't have data type because it's in square bracket. Instead, it's gonna use it as a column when it's in square bracket. So it's gonna,
Oh,
yeah, it's gonna give us an error if we try it. Um, but I don't want to try it because it's gonna write the other table stuff, but it will give us an error. Um,
yeah.
so the best way is to make sure that there's no brackets around it.
Hmm.
So now this is an integer. So in SQL, you can specify it as integer or int.
Okay.
It's the same thing. So now let's create the table.
Okay.
Let me see. Let me see. Let's say use mentorship so that it doesn't create. Okay, cool. Now let's create this table. It says completed. So we're gonna create the other one. We can just comment it out, this one, because we're done with it. And then now we are creating the orders table. So you see that the difference here as well, we just said integer instead of int.
Yeah,
Same
I
thing.
see.
Okay, cool. Then
Mhm.
we can
And
run
then
this. Yes.
mhm.
Mhm.
No, what I just wanted to ask about the integer as well as varchar. Um, how are you able to determine which one needs to go when it's an item or when it's an amount? How does that work? How do you get to know that on this value or this character?
Oh,
Uh,
that's a good
uh,
question. That's a very good question. So, anything that is that has characters, there has to be. It's either it's gonna be car or varchar or nvarchar. So anything that has a that's gonna have a character like an item name and stuff, or a mix of characters, it's
I
gonna be a
see.
car. So
I
anything
see.
that has numbers, it's always gonna be an integer or a decimal. But integer just simply
I
means it's
see.
gonna be a full number, a whole number. Yeah,
Okay. Okay.
cool. So let's create again the shippings. Shippings execute. Then now we can comment them out. And then we go on the left hand side. Okay, this one I'm not gonna be able to sort of like zoom in, but I just wanna show you
No,
the,
it's okay. I could see it because I'm using the other screen now,
oh, a bigger
so
screen.
it's a
Okay,
bit bigger.
okay, cool.
Yeah. It's not like the laptop itself.
Okay, cool. So the the tables are still gonna be expanding. Um, I know this takes a bit of time. While
Mm.
this is taking a bit of time, I'm gonna show you. So right now, um, we are gonna try to load some data inside. So the way we
Okay.
can load like a lot of files, well, not a lot of files, but maybe one file, not like at once. Um, there is what you call bulk insert, but I don't want us to use bulk insert right now because um, no one ever uses bulk insert uh, because of the best practices for building databases, because a bulk insert doesn't really have a log, so you are bypassing the log when
Okay.
you're actually doing a bulk insert. So if let's say you want to do database logs and see who loaded what at what time, so the bulk insert can give you that, but sometimes it's not the best way to do it. So it's either we do it this way, like go to the GUI, well, this side, right click, and when you right click on the database, it's going to prompt you like this: new database queries. So we want to go to task. From task, we import data down there. There's an import data. It's going to open a window
Mhm.
like this: the SQL Server Import Export Wizard. You click next. From there, our our input. So let's talk about the wizard window. So the wizard window is where you use it as a data source. So if you are, I'm gonna switch this off for now.
Okay.
Now our tables are there. When we look, yeah, I just refreshed it, ne? And then our tables are there, if you can see the ones that we just created.
Okay.
Okay, cool. So we are saying we're going to task. So if we are loading, for example, a CSV or a text file, we would be using a flat file because they off like a flat file, and a flat file would be any file that has sort of like delimiters. So that would be comma, that would be pipe, that would be tab delimiter or semicolon. So if you see sometimes when you open a text file, you'll find that the data maybe will be separated by commas or semicolons or stuff like that. Yeah. So you would use
Mhm.
this thing called flat import flat file. But because now we are loading, maybe we are loading an Excel file, we load it as an import data. Then
Yeah.
the wizard is gonna come through. Then next, okay, cool. Then Excel. We could as well here select even like flat file source. We could. So a flat file source would be those that I actually mentioned, a CSV or a text file. So, but because we're
Mhm.
using Excel, let's select Excel. And so I've created these, um, I've just taken them from the database that you are working on online. So I've recreated them on Excel. So now what we're gonna load first is customers. So you click customer and click open, and then you click next. Now it says on top there, choose a destination. Let's go back. Here it says choose a source.
Yeah.
And then when you click next, it says choose a destination. Now a destination is the database. So we choose OLEDB database. OLEDB, let's see, SQL Server, yeah. OLEDB, SQL Server. Yeah. So we search for it. There we go. OLEDB SQL Server. That's the server that we are actually using. So now it's picking up quickly that we're using the SQL testing. So this is the name of the PC from the side under ALU. Then this is the instance name that's there. It's equal to that. You can see there. Okay. So we know we are in the right database. Click next. Oh, I hope it doesn't take long. So now, um, whereas we go into next, it's mapping out this thing on the wizard and it's going to talk with the database, and then it's going to bring us the tables that we need to select from that are already in the database.
Okay.
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 So it says specify table copy or query. So when you are on intermediate to advanced level, sometimes you have to use maybe a direct query to load the database, where you're going to specify, go to this file, do this, do that. But again, not a lot of companies uses this because bulk insert is not a best practice. Next. Now, here we're doing what you call mappings. The first side that says sheet 1, it's actually selected the the drive or the file that we're going to be picking up, and then we need to map it to our database, and we are loading customers this time around. For you to see if the columns are actually matching, say preview mappings. Okay, this is previewing the data. Edit mappings, sorry, to see the data types that are there. There we go.
Yeah.
So it's gonna match the source to the destination. It's always important so that you know that you are loading the right thing, so that you don't get errors in the process. So it's matching the ID that's in the file with the ID that's in the database in that table. So we say, okay, because this match. And then we click next. And let's see. Let's try and error global. Use global. I hope there's no truncation that's gonna happen. But anyway, the purpose of this is for us to create this database so that we can join tables. Because for today, I want us to join the tables. Okay, next, finish. Okay, no truncation happened. Okay, cool. So 6 rows transferred instantly. You see that? Perfect. So
Mm-hmm.
now we're gonna go and say and query the table. So when we query customers, let's copy this and say customers. So this is the table name. Okay. Select
Yeah.
all from customers. Let me push it up. I don't know why is it still red, but there's our first set, né? Then let me say our second set. We're gonna go load again our second set. So now we are loading orders. We go to the database mentorship, right click, task, import data. We like doing the same thing. And then next, choose a data source. It's gonna be Excel, orders, and then next, click at destination It's an OLEDB server, not driver. So OLEDB SQL server.
Hmm.
It's taking a bit of time now. Okay.
So these Excel files that we are loading, they're already being prepared. So it's a matter of just putting them in the database.
100%.
Okay.
100%. They're already prepared, these ones. Let's move and orders and then shipping so that we can do the joins now when this is done. So I was just showing you a way of actually just loading as soon. For example, I use a process like this at work to load tons of data. Maybe I'm gonna load like one Excel file that maybe contains 40,000 lines. This is gonna transfer them maybe in 5 or 10 minutes, depending on the speed of as well the network. Then let's do for the last one, task import Excel. Paste. Okay, at least now we're loading the last one. I think I need to restart my
Mhm.
instance because it's taking a bit of time. So I know when the database has been open for some time, sometimes does that. Okay, cool. Shippings. Um, so these you do not have to mind them right now because it just tells you if there's an error, it will fail. If there's a truncation, it will fail. Okay, there we go, and then it failed. I really wonder why. Okay, let's try the process again, and then maybe because I didn't do edit mappings.
Okay.
It's crazy. Okay.
And also what I wanted to find out, for an
Mhm.
example, this SQL you are using, which one is it? Is it Microsoft or is it something else?
Yes, it's Microsoft. It's Microsoft. So
Okay.
if let's say you want to um, download it, it's the simplest thing to download the SSL like the SQL Server Management Studio. So this is SQL Server 18. It's easy to download this. The what I want you to also do, let's edit mappings. This is int, this is int, this is int. I wonder if preview, this is int, but pending is not supposed to be an int. It's supposed to be a varchar. Let's see if we can preview mappings because this is not supposed to be int, you see. I think that's why it's giving us the error. The status is not supposed to be integer.
Oh, okay.
I
I
don't know
see. Okay.
why I did that. Let's see. columns. Let's try and modify columns. Let's modify status. Okay, so I think the best way when it's outside. Okay, cool. I think it's so this could be, so this is status. It must be what did we use? Did we use varchar or n varchar? Varchar, yeah. I think let's make a varchar. Okay, varchar 50 is fine, and then yes. Oh, okay, it doesn't want to. Okay, let me just recreate the. Let me just delete and recreate it. So that's what you're going to be doing on your next task. So we said varchar. Let's make varchar 50 status. Okay, cool. Then recreate this already as an object. Didn't I delete this? No, I did.
Still deleting.
I think so. This is, I think the instance is taking too long. I mean, I think I think one of the reasons as well is the fact that I actually did not close the instance from that day. Let's try it again. It's there in the database. All right, I think let's go back to maybe that online stuff for now, because my instance, for the sake of time, my instance is like doing, like it's acting up here. Okay. So um so there's concepts here called uh, joins. Yeah. So joins,
Mm-hmm.
you can still see my screen. So joins
Yeah.
actually are combining. It's to combine tables. Yeah. So let's go to our slides quickly and see. So this is how the joins work. So the joins work this way. There's what you call an inner join. So it returns all the matching rows from the tables that you are trying to combine. Then there's a left join, which returns all the rows that are in the left column or left table and all the matching rows. Then these are these 1, 2 are the joins that you're actually going to be using the most of the data science life. Then full outer join as well. It returns all the rows from both tables. The right join, no one uses really a right join, but a right join always returns the join that's from the right table and the matching rows. But
Mhm.
yes, then close this, and then I'll show you in practical what we talk about when we talk about joins. So how do you know that these tables are gonna join? I think it's always has to do with what we call primary keys. I did mention the last time about a primary key. So a primary key is a unique identifier of each table, but they have to exist. There has to be something that combines them. For example, here, a unique ID is customer ID, and there's an order ID. There's also a shipping ID. But these are all the same in each table. So this is a common, okay, let's say this is a primary key. So a primary key is a common identifier. Identity.
My network, and I need to hear this. Okay, yeah, continue.
Okay, so did you hear me? Primary key is a common identifier of the
Yeah,
tables.
no, no, no. Okay. Okay.
Okay, perfect. So we will be finishing maybe at like 6:30. But let me show you in action. So how we would join these tables, or maybe why would we join these tables, right? Let's say we want to see
Mhm.
how many products did John buy, or maybe John Doe buy. So in the purposes of this, the tables are actually there. We can see them. But when you build your database, you have 10,000 rows. It's difficult to see that. So the bigger picture
Mhm.
would be on records that you can't see. But for practice, we need to be seeing that so we know how it plays out. Okay, cool. So
Yeah.
let's say we'll give a scenario. We want to select products that um, let me see who bought maybe the most. Oh, John here. Let's say John. We want to select the products that John Ray Rain had bought. So this is what we want to do. We want to select products that John Reid had bought.
Mhm.
We can do it this by writing a select statement that says select from customer customer and select from orders. So how I'm going to explain this ne, is the simplest way. So if they need products, so it means the order that John has, because in real world they might not say orders, they might say products, right? When they give you a scenario. So but what it means when they say select products, it means items that this guy bought or products that this guy bought. Yeah. So what then
Mhm.
that means
Mhm.
on both tables, we know that these products are from products table and then the name is coming from customer table. But how we join these together? we would do this. We would start with the products table because our main aim is to get the products that this guy bought. So take this one out and say select orders. Select from orders. But what are we selecting? We're actually selecting item. So so we're selecting item from orders. Then we need to join them. Item. So we're saying inner join. So an inner join is selecting what's common. Let's go back. An inner join returns matching rows, right?
Mhm.
Let's go
Yeah.
then. Now select item from orders. So this is a product, of course. Then we're saying inner join. We're saying give us matching. I just wonder if on this the inner join works because I haven't tested it. This if the joins are actually working. Inner join, but we'll see if it works. Inner join, um, customers. So what tables are we joining? We're joining orders and customers. Where are we joining them? So you look for the common um,
Mhm.
column. So the common column, because we did say primary key is a common column. So we look for a common column now when we want to merge these. Common column is on. We merge them on. Let's copy customer ID equals to order ID. So we're saying if they the codes from here or the IDs match, give us the items for matching stuff. Let's try to run this. Ambiguous column. Okay, let's try maybe put an alias. I'll see. So it's gonna be. I know why it's saying ambiguous column. Um, I think I'm going now. I'm diving a bit deeper. So orders. Let's say O, and then customers C. I'm gonna show you the easy. So this is the easiest way. I'm gonna also show you the more complicated a bit. Yeah. So we are creating the now what you call
Mhm.
aliases. These are alias. So in aliases, you don't want to repeat the same name orders dot orders. I'm going to show you just now. So an alias works this way. So for customer, it's C dot customer ID, and then for orders, it's O dot order ID. And then I'm going to explain it just now. Okay, perfect. Now it's giving us items. So they are the items. Um, and it's also giving us so inner join doesn't work here. So join, let's see. Okay, cool. So I know this might be confusing right now, but you will get a hang of it, don't worry. Now, we could have written this statement the same way and say select item from orders, and we say join customers. Now city on C. now, because we are not using aliases here, this is how it was gonna look. It's gonna be customer. Let me copy this. Customers. Where's copy now? Okay, let me do this. Copy, paste, dot, customer ID equals. You still following? You still following?
Yeah.
Dot order ID. Um, copy. So let's comment this one out. Oh, there's no way to comment it out. Okay, cool. Because I don't want it by spazamis. Okay, cool. Because I saw there
Mm.
is a lot of results there. Okay, cool. Syntax error. Select. Oh, here it's not even gonna tell me inner join. Here it's not even gonna tell me ukuthi kwenzakalani. But it actually gave us an answer before, and the right answer. Or maybe in Ziwaguti we didn't select this. I don't know. So the IDEs are online. They're quite. So it's customers. Okay. Or maybe we need to close this. Let's try again. Ah, perfect. Okay, cool. So it's crazy that from SQL, from SQL, you don't have to enclose by this. You can just let it run. Okay, cool. So now, Bengiti, let's do the first one. Okay, it's giving the results. You seem quiet. You seem quiet, my brother.
No, I'm quiet. I'm trying to put things together in my head here.
I see, I see. That's fine. So, it's that's fine. I'm happy because you're gonna actually watch the recording, and then if you wanna fast forward, you fast forward, you get to where you want to need to be. So,
Mhm.
this is an inner join. So we are saying here, we are selecting item. So this is the item from orders. So from orders, here's orders, and that's why it got us these
Yeah,
items. But
yeah.
we are saying join it with customers, and that's all well and good. But we need to join it on what's common. And what is the common? That's customer ID. On the
Hmm.
other side, on orders, is order ID because they 12345, 12345. If you look on the right hand side, you can only join tables on the common stuff, right? Okay, cool. Um, Now, if we add the name, because they said they want the stuff that are bought by John, so we need to enhance this our script. So we're gonna say first name, our first name, and our last name. Now, when we need to specify the guy that we are looking for, we use a where. I think this is what you did before. Where first name, where first name equals John and last name equals what's his surname? This guy. Let me go copy and paste. There we go. Now let's try to run this and see. Let's put it here. Let's try to see. Hallelujah. So what we know by joining this table is that John Rayner Hart has bought a keyboard.
Hmm.
Yeah. Then we can increase it and say, um, I wanted to see if okay, yeah. So where John bought, we can see now John bought a keyboard, right? Now we want to know maybe if John did purchase something else or um well, how many orders? Because if there was something else, it was going to say John Herald keyboard or mouse. But how many keyboards did he buy? Let's enhance this. How many keyboards did he buy? But I think we can end it here, Baba. I think we can end it here. But in a nutshell, our summary is the item. This is how you know that the tables are joined. You still there? You still there?
Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
listening.
This is how
I'm
you
here.
know the tables are joined, is that you see the item is coming from the orders table, and then first and last name is coming from customers table.
Yeah.
That's it. So today we've learned just
Hmm.
about AMA joins. So
Okay.
we're gonna stop
Yeah.
here, and then I'll send you a recording. And then from tomorrow, maybe weekend or latest Sunday, maybe I'm gonna send you a project. So this project will be taking into account creating a database, creating tables. Um, so I want you to try to see if you can download these stuff like the SSMS, this.
You're cutting now a bit. I guess it's my network. Not sure.